departure.
We can't talk about it. There are
Attention to the vehicle ahead.
Enthralling beauty in visual poetry and myth-making, almost unlike
Attention to the vehicle ahead.
AAA gaming space right now. We can't show them to you.
Attention to the vehicle ahead.
There are realms of lore and mythology and parables.
Attention to the vehicle ahead.
Such wild,
Late departure.
fantastical, whimsical, imaginative character work and design, giving depth and beauty and context to the otherwise obtuse narrative of Black Myth Wukong. We can't tell you anything about them. And the review continues like this. This childish behavior is in response to a leaked email from Game Science's PR partner asking creators who were given codes to refrain from talking about politics, feminist propaganda, fetishization, and other content that instigates negative discourse. What Kotaku, as well as many other journalists' response to this work, can be easily read as, "We are mad that we aren't allowed to talk about anything that doesn't have to do with the video game, so instead, we're gonna write angry reviews with backhanded comments."
Legitimate journalists will take issue with this.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know the context of this email, however, as a creator, this looks like a poorly written briefing for sponsored content. Journalists can seethe all they want. However, if you are paid to do a job, you do the job as instructed. What company is going to pay you to talk about their game and talk about unrelated things to the game that they are paying you to promote? You can claim censorship, that's fine, but these demands are no different than the expectations of anyone else who has a job, albeit these topics are a little bit more sensitive to China and specifically Black Myth Wukong, as the game has suffered at the hands of IGN and other outlets parroting misinformation about alleged sexism and game science. But they wouldn't understand that, would they? Because after all, they can't even do their own job. I mean, whoever's claiming there is a lack of diversity obviously never finished Chapter 3. I'm offended by this. Review after review of Black Myth Wukong soured by unconfirmed and mistranslated information, self-righteous, self-serving reviewers turned activists, docking review scores, attempting to push players away from this game, all in the name of their brand of justice. Tell me, where is the justice in docking review scores due to the lack of inclusivity and diversity in an adaptation of one of the most respected novels in China's cultural history? Because it doesn't include your modern beliefs. Wanting to culturally appropriate a game made by a Chinese developer, adapted from a Chinese novel, is beyond disgusting and abhorrent. You know, there was a game that came out earlier this year, Tales of Kenzera. This really cool Metroidvania game, very creative, that was made by an African developer with African characters. None of them said anything about diversity then. The logic is never applied evenly because they don't believe in it. It's just a convenient vehicle to maintain relevance. I am beyond happy that Game Science never responded to any of these allegations because they had no responsibility to have to do so. You're not responsible to game journalists. What authority do they hold? None. When I look around the industry right now and I see players that are playing games that they're not liking anymore because the game's going in a direction that they don't want, when I see games that are released that are failing,